Captain Elena Vasquez gripped the railing as the shuttle lurched, alarms blaring through the dim cabin.
"Hold on,"
she shouted, her voice cutting over the whine of failing engines. Below, the alien dreadnought loomed like a jagged scar against the stars, its boarding clamps already extending toward their crippled ship. Her crew, 3 souls she'd handpicked for grit over glory, braced in their harnesses, faces pale but eyes sharp. "They're locking on," muttered Jax, the wiry engineer at her side, fingers flying over a flickering console. Sweat beaded on his brow, but his hands didn't shake. "Shields at 12%. We punch through or we kiss our asses goodbye." Elena nodded, unstrapping with a click that echoed her resolve. No time for fear. They'd trained for this since the first probes hit Earth orbit 6 months back. The Vexari, those spindly invaders with their chains and neural collars, thought humans were ripe for harvest. They'd glassed 3 colonies already, broadcasting surrender demands in broken English. But Elena's team? They were the tip of the spear, a Black Ops unit smuggling prototypes into the fight. "Options?" she demanded, pulling up a hollow map that sputtered to life. The shuttle's hull groaned as magnetic locks engaged, vibrations rattling her teeth. Lyra, the squad sniper, leaned forward, her augmented eyes scanning the feed. Cool as ice, that one, always calculating trajectories in her sleep. "Blow the clamps with the forward torpedoes. Risky. Might shear our nose cone. Riskier than becoming lab rats?" Jack snorted, rerouting power with a curse. Sparks danced from the panel, illuminating his scarred cheek from a long-ago factory mishap. "Give me 30 seconds to juice the warheads." The ship shuddered violently, Vexari grapples biting deeper. Through the viewport, Elena glimpsed their boarding pods detaching, sleek, thorned things hurtling like hornets. The aliens moved like shadows, all limbs and chitin, but humans had fire in their veins. 10 seconds, Jax growled, sweat dripping onto the console. Diverting O power. Engines first, then boom. Lyra unholstered her rifle, chambering a round with a metallic snick. "I'll cover the breach if they pop us early." Elena's mind raced. The prototype in the hold, a jury-rigged EMP grenade born from scavenged drone parts, could level the field, but deploying it meant suiting up and spacewalking under fire. "No, first things first, break free. Fire on my mark," she said, steadying her stance as the cabin lights flickered. The dreadnought filled the sky now, its underbelly ports yawning open like a predator's maw. Pods streaked closer, laser grids painting the hull red. "Mark!" Elena barked. Jack slammed the launch trigger. Torpedoes streaked out, twin fireflies in the void, slamming into the clamps with deafening cracks that reverberated through the deck. Metal screamed, the shuttle twisting free in a plume of debris, but one pod clipped their wing, shearing sensors and sending them into a wild spin. "Stabilizers out!" Lyra yelled, gripping her seat as G-forces pinned them. Elena fought the controls, muscles burning, willing the ship to respond. Alarms wailed, hull breach imminent. They were loose but adrift, tumbling toward the dreadnought's shadow. "Jax, get me engines," she ordered, eyes locked on the viewport. Vexari fighters swarmed, tiny specks closing fast. "On it, rerouting now." He patched lines with bare hands, ignoring the acrid smoke. The spin slowed just enough. Elena fired thrusters, a desperate burst that yanked them clear. But the cost hit hard. The prototype crate in the hold shifted, alarms blaring a new warning, containment failing. Lyra glanced back. "That EMP's cooking. If it goes critical, we're vapor." Elena's jaw set. No turning back. "Plot a course for their hangar bay. We're going in hot ram if we have to." Jax whooped, a feral grin breaking through. "Hell yeah, Cap. Let's give 'em a welcome they won't forget." The shuttle dove, engines roaring back to life straight into the beast's belly. Pods buzzed around them, lasers scoring the hull, but they pressed on. Humans unbreakable, turning the hunters into the hunted. The shuttle shuddered as it breached the alien cruiser's hangar bay, hull screaming against the sudden drag of artificial gravity. Elena gripped the controls, veins bulging in her knuckles while sparks danced across the console from a glancing laser hit. "Hold her steady," she barked, eyes locked on the closing maw of the docking port. Jax wiped sweat from his brow, his hands still raw from splicing the emergency lines. Gravity's kicking in. Feels like we're slamming into a brick wall. He braced against the bulkhead, the prototype EMP crate in the hold rattling ominously behind the sealed door. One wrong jolt and it would fry everything, including them. Lyra monitored the scanners from her station, her fingers flying over the cracked interface. Pods on our tail, 3 incoming, closing fast. Bay doors are sealing behind us. We're trapped in here with whatever's waiting. Her voice stayed level, but the flicker in her eyes betrayed the spike of adrenaline. The hangar sprawled before them like a cavernous wound. Sleek alien fighters lined the walls, their hulls gleaming under harsh violet lights, and in the center, a cluster of towering figures in exosuits turned toward the intrusion. Weapons rising in unison, Helena yanked the yoke, firing retros to bleed off speed. The shuttle skidded across the deck, grinding sparks in a fiery arc that scattered a group of the aliens. One exosuit crumpled under the impact, its occupant spilling out in a tangle of limbs and chitin. "Jax, get that EMP prepped! Lyra, hack their systems, buy us time!" The air filled with the acrid tang of scorched metal, and the first alien shots peppered the shuttle's underbelly, whining off reinforced plating.